All right, ladies and gentlemen, put a one in the chat. If you hear the sound of my voice, put a one in the chat. Good evening and welcome to the Dennis Byron Show. Let's see who's in here checking in. Man, I didn't want to do this. I did not want to do this, but I got to do it. I have to. I've been quiet. I kind of was swinging for Shannon a little bit, just a tad bit, not too much, ladies and gentlemen. Not too much. But first and foremost, I want to thank you all for joining me this evening because this one here, I saw it coming a mile away. I saw this coming a mile away. Shannon Sharpe, player. Well, actually, you're not really a player because players don't get caught out like this. They just don't get caught out like this, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, Shannon Sharpe got caught out there. They caught you sleeping. They caught you sleeping at the wheel, sir. I didn't listen. Before this happened, and before you settled, I was hoping that you would have fought this. I was hoping that you would have fought this. But if you learn nothing from the Diddy saga, is that once they go public, you go to court. You do not settle. You don't settle, especially when their lawyer is the 1-800 attorney that tried to take Jay-Z down. You don't settle. You fight. You fight. Because at this point, your business is out there. Your business is out there. And you should have saw this coming. For those who don't know, today, ESPN officially fired Shannon Sharpe. They fired him. He was not good for the brand, so they had to let him go. And I knew this was going to happen. So what was the point of settling? What was the point of selling? We know that the then plaintiff was suing for $1 million. Excuse me, 50 million, not a million, 50 million. And then your lawyer releases a statement saying, hey, we offered her 10 million. Oh, I knew it was a wrap right then. I knew that this was a wrap. The minute you signaled that you were willing to pay 10 million, they smelled blood. And they were hovering around you like sharks. They smelled the blood. And if you learn nothing from the Sean Combs settlement, is that the minute you decide that you're not settling, you're going to court, you got to stay on that course. You cannot, especially you didn't sell overnight. You waited to marinate it in the public's eye. You waited until the people, the public, chose a side. And you had the 1-800 lawyer playing with you. The 1-800 lawyer, Tony Buzbee, was playing with you. And let me first talk about Tony for a second, Mr. Buzbee. The way he was casting his rod in that pool of potential clients and potential lawsuits, He was bound to catch a fish. And Shannon, you were the fish. Not Jay-Z, not Diddy, but you were the fish. So that in itself should have told you that you shouldn't have settled. You should have, listen, once, and first of all, hold on. Before I go into the you shouldn't have settled, you probably shouldn't have been with the 22-year-old. A 22-year-old white girl. And this is, listen, a 22-year-old white girl. Guys, I got to keep it raw tonight. If y'all want me to keep it raw, put a 1 in the chat. Because if you want me to, you want me to tap dance around this, I can keep, I put a 2 in there. But if you want me to keep it raw, put a 1 in there. Because I think we need to have a conversation. I could be nice. I could take a subtle approach. But I don't think this is the time to do that. I think we have to analyze this right here. She was 19. She was still young. 18, whatever, 19, 18, it's still too young. But here's the problem. Mr. Sharpe, you took money out the black community. You took money out the black community. See, this is another problem, guys and ladies and gentlemen. Not only did you play yourself, you took money out the black community. You took money away from your own siblings. This is all wrong. It's all wrong. You did something. First of all, how do we, I'll say some of these athletes struggle to get picked, you made it to the NFL, a top player. You had all the opportunities available to you. And the minute you reach the pinnacle of your career, and I don't know if this, have you reached your Peter Principle? And you guys, I don't know if you know what the Peter Principle theory is, but has Shannon Sharpe reached his Peter Principle in life? Don't know. But this was a major blow for you, sir. A 22-year-old, 19-year-old, white girl that you got caught on recording saying some of the craziest stuff. You want to choke her out. You want to listen, once the tape dropped, at this point, you should have cranked up the jury. But no. Someone in your team said, hey, this is not going to end well because, and I want to first, before I say that, the 1-800 lawyer, Tony Buzbee, released a statement right after the settlement. He says, essentially, these two have reached an amicable resolution to their issue. And it was a consenting issue. Whoa. It didn't start out like that. With the threat of a lawsuit, it didn't start out like it was a consensual relationship. Everything was beautiful after you settled, but before, you were a monster. You were this bad guy, and they wanted to take you down. But, sir, you put yourself in that position. And then you let the 1-800 lawyer be the one that take you out. Hov said, no, we're fighting. Maybe you thought you didn't have to fight. You thought you didn't have it in you. Maybe you thought that the people wouldn't have accepted this type of behavior. And I don't know. I just don't know. You get caught on tape, role playing, whatever you were doing. Well, it was consensual according to Attorney Buzbee. However, you opened the door for others that you may have got involved with to come after you. You see how this works? And this is a prediction. This is just a prediction. Tony Buzbee is not precluded from bringing another plaintiff to go after you. This one was settled, but hey, Shannon, we have another one over here that we need to talk about as well. We have another plaintiff that have made similar allegations against you, sir. And I know we good over there with that situation, but now the door is open, and now there could be possible other lawsuits coming down the pipeline. Was this a one-off? Is this the only time he's done this? Is this the only time? Will there be other people come down the pipeline? Well, this is why you have to fight these cases. You have to play the long game, not the short game. Because this could potentially, well, this one won't, but there could be another plaintiff that can make a similar allegation. And I believe this was consensual just based on the conversations and the statements that were made. But if you offer this girl $10 million in a pre-settlement agreement or a purported agreement that was being brokered, you offered $10 million. What the heck was happening that you offered $10 million? What did they have that would have yielded $10 million? I get it. I get it. They had something. They may have a tape. They may have audio. They might have, I mean, at this point, you got to own. Listen, you see what happened with Puff, Sean Combs, Mr. Combs. The government went after him with all their might. They brought in the best of the best to put a RICO case on him in an SA case, sex trafficking case. And they tried pretty hard. They were determined to seize his assets because that was the part that was the golden part at the end of the rainbow, to take his wealth away from him. So with that said, why are some of you allowing others to take your wealth away from you? You work this hard and you can just give up that kind of money because You had an urge, a fantasy. You wanted to be with the Becky. And you thought she loved you. Sir, you could have been targeted. You could have been targeted from the very beginning. But you made yourself a target. You were you that naive to think that this woman she really wanted you? What I say woman? This girl. She wasn't a woman, she was a girl. You thought this girl really wanted you? The settlement is just as bad as the lawsuit in this case, because it's out there. If this was quiet and no one knew anything about it and you settled, then that's another conversation. But once they went public, it was, hey, take it all away. Right. She wanted a big black baby. She that's what she told you. She didn't want no big black baby. Imagine her taking a big black baby to her white dad. Hey, daddy, I brought a big black baby home. I don't think so. I do not think daddy would have liked her bringing a big black baby home. No. Daddy said, no, this is not. No. Listen, I know it's not my dollars, not your dollars, but the point of the matter is that money could be spent somewhere else. You could have got a beautiful black sister. They said, don't make it about race, Mr. Byron. Hey, listen. Hey. I know what you're thinking. Mr. Byron making it about race. No. He took money out the black community. Now she's talking about she retiring from OnlyFans. How many sisters have you retired, sir? How many sisters have you retired? So you gave your money away, and you didn't, and you didn't give her a big black baby either. Lucky for you. Lucky for you. And I know some of you say, hey, what does it really matter? I mean, listen. Some of you better watch how LeBron James move. One of the most celebrated, successful athletes in the NBA. And you ain't going to catch him slipping. That's my belief. You're not catching him slipping. You won't be taking his wealth away. You better start looking at LeBron. You athletes better start looking at LeBron. You better start getting these contracts, recording. You better listen. The way you're moving right now, you can't fly them out. You fly them out, that's trafficking. That's trafficking. And I think you probably flew this young lady out somewhere. I mean, unless you're in the same city, I don't know. But these are the type of things that you don't listen. You don't get caught in the trick bag. This is a trick bag. And you were the trick. And they bagged you and got the bag. Trick bag, that's an old term. But it has meaning. You were the trick and it got your bag. It's is what it is. You got caught out there, man, and you put yourself out there. It's not you're not the victim in this case. You're not the victim. You would be considered the trick, sir. It's just what it is. And none of the sisters got the bag. You don't trick your money. oh. oh my goodness. So what we have to do? Oh my goodness. What we have to do, brothers, athletes, entertainers, stay focused. Don't get to this the height of your career, and seek out a young 19-year-old. Like, what the heck is going on? That's literally just out of high school. That's literally out of high school. Of course. If I'm Disney, I'm not having you on my brand either. I'm just going to keep it real. I mean, no. They're not going to want you at Disney World. No, they don't want you being a part of the Disney brand. No, it's not. Nah. It's just not cool. Nah. Mike said, go overseas if you're going to do your dirt. Well, I mean, if that's your if that's your flavor, hey, and that's you do it in America, you're done. This is the new hustle, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new hustle. This is the new hustle. And if you have managers and you got handlers, and they don't teach you about this, that not only are they not protecting you, but they're not protecting themselves because they allow you to expose yourself to this. No. You need to, listen, some of you just need proper counseling. Some of you just need proper counseling. But he probably was moving sneaky. He was probably moving sneaky. Stay off OnlyFans. Stay off I'm going to tell you something, guys. When I was coming up in the industry as a fashion photographer in Soho, it wasn't like this. I promise you, it was not like this. It's like when you scroll down on Instagram or some of these pages, you see these girls be doing too much. They do too much. It wasn't like this. I promise you. The modeling industry wasn't like this. These models did campaigns. Real models. Real models do big campaigns, big photo shoots, billboards, magazine ads, commercials. I don't know what they got going on with this. It's just too much happening on social media right now. And you put yourself out there. Right. Somebody said when she told him 25 per cheek, not check, that should have been a red flag. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was right in front of him, literally and figuratively speaking. Ah, God. Right. Right. I know, no, I caught it now. I caught it. It was right there in front of him. And OnlyFans is a trap. It's a trap. Because if you go to OnlyFans, what are you going in for? For a fantasy. You're going in for a fantasy. And ladies and gentlemen, I do not have subscribed to OnlyFans. You can check my hard drive. And none of that. But I'm saying, what are you going there for? And then at some point, it becomes a want. And then you start getting so deep into it, and now you want to live it out. I need one of these OnlyFans models. And half of them all made up and overdone, and come on. Like, it's just too much. But enough of I think I did enough on the Shannon. Just Shannon, you played yourself, sir. I mean, you probably say, I'm not nobody's role model. And Monique tried to warn you. Cat Williams, I guess he tried to warn you too. But maybe it was too late. So apparently Monique knew that you had a sweet tooth. You had a sweet tooth, sir. You had a sweet tooth. You had a sweet tooth. You didn't want the chocolate. I'll just leave it at that. But you had a sweet tooth. But now you have to figure out how to navigate through this very bad PR nightmare. Because it's a PR nightmare at this point. The first hammer dropped, and we don't know when the next one's coming down. I hope this is it. I hope this is the last that we hear of any type of vanilla sweet tooth. Thank you, Real. Man, it's not safe out here. It's just not safe. It is not safe. It's just not safe. And it's up to the individual. I don't even blame the girl at all. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Even if you got caught out, you got caught out there. You put yourself out there to be caught. Can we at least agree with that? You put yourself out there to be caught. Anyway, former NBA star Gilbert Arenas was arrested on Wednesday and is accused by the Department of Justice of being a part of a high-stakes illegal gambling ring that ran out of one of his California homes. So the DOJ has got him in this perplexing situation. So they're saying he ran an illegal gambling ring out of one of his California homes. That's not good. Arenas is 43 years old, is facing a federal indictment on a count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, one count of operating an illegal gambling business, and one count of making false statements to federal investigators. That's a problem. Lying to the feds is a problem. That's a hard charge to beat. That's a hard charge to beat. So, this indictment is bad. This is bad. According to the Justice Department, Arenas is rented out an Encino, California mansion to host illegal poker games. If he's convicted, he faces up to 5 years in prison on each count. 5 years in prison on each count. According to the indictment filed by prosecutors in Los Angeles, Arenas directed Arthur Katz, this is alleged, 51 to stage the games. Katz would then prepare the home and collect rent from the other individuals accused of being involved in the scheme. So this now they have. So we when we hear this, we're thinking about there's a paper trail and his home is being used. His home is being used for illegal gambling, according to the authorities. Yevgeny Gershman, who the department describes as a suspected organized crime figure from Israel, Evgeny Cherevsky, Alan Austria, Yaron Cohen, and Ivan Gresham would then manage the illegal gambling being done at the homes, according to the indictment. So let's think about this. He's the only brother in this scheme. That's a problem. He's the only brother. He's the only brother in this scheme, and his house is being used to allegedly run a gambling poker operation. It's not good. Man, this is close to a RICO. Hold on here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. All the other defendants face charges of 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business and 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business. No lawyer for Arenas has made a statement yet, but this is a breaking news story, so we're going to see if his attorney comes out and defend him. This is not good. And you guys, if the feds is going to put a case on you, they probably had an undercover there or someone who would turn government's witness. Someone says, part Miss Lady, you say he's part Cuban? I don't think that really matters at this point. I know that the indictment is not Cuban. The indictment is black and white. But let me get on camera. Real quick here. Let me get on camera, guys. Let me get on camera. Hey, what's happening, everyone? Hey, what's happening? Oh my goodness. So Gilbert Arenas. We have this with Shannon. We have one football player, ex-football player, and one ex-basketball player. This is not good. One is a federal indictment. The other is a public shaming, I guess. Just bad. It's bad. Now, being that, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, the government's going to want a conviction. They're going to want one. They got a big name. This is a media case, and they're going to want a conviction. They're going to want to see if he takes a plea. And it may end up, I don't think he's going to get jail time. but they're gonna want to plea. Maybe 1 year, if they can prove this. And it's all about the paper trail at this point. But lying to a investigator, those things are very hard to beat, because they have this 302 report, a report, and in that report they're going to say, we asked him this and he told us this. We asked him probably several times and he told us this. So my question is, why didn't he ask for a lawyer before he said make any statement? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That should resonate. They're telling you anything you say can and will be used against you. So if you're lying to me, I am going to use this against you in a court of law. I can and I will. But Mr. Arenas is presumed innocent of all charges. Make no mistake, this is an indictment. It is not a conviction. It is not a conviction. He might want to call, let's see, one of the dream teams of the Diddy case. He might want to get, I don't know. He might want to start thinking about getting some of these. You're gonna need a high profile attorney to handle this one. You're gonna need a high profile one to handle this one. You're gonna need a high profile attorney, in my opinion. Diddy set the bar pretty high. He set the bar pretty high. When you fight in a Fed case, you need to have the best in the business with a proven track record of success. However, if the evidence is so great, then you need to be getting a negotiated deal. And I think Gil Arenas was just recently married, if I'm correct. Wasn't he recently married? Because if he was recently married, more of an incentive to get this situation over with quick. So he was recently married. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When you're Mirandized, and I see so many videos that people are Mirandized on the street, when they're pulled over, when the cops suspect that they may say some things that can be used in a court of law, they're going to read you the Miranda. Some read it pretty fast. They bring the card out. They say they use the tonnage when they read it, but people really don't listen to that, because at that point, when they read you the Miranda, already the temperature is high. They may have you in a very compromising situation. And at that point, you may believe you can talk yourself out of it. You may believe, hey, I can say this and I can get out of this. Let me just negotiate with. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to know what their role is as members of law enforcement, and you got to know what you need to do to get out the situation. I can't stress enough how important it is to remain silent, because the less they have, the more opportunity you have to negotiate. But if you're giving them all your cards, you have nothing to negotiate. I've seen videos where investigators have said, work with me. Work with me. It sounds like, oh my goodness, these guys really care about me. Let me just tell them everything. And then when you get the diarrhea of the mouth, you want to keep talking and you want to keep convincing them that it's not you. And they say, okay, all right, I'm listening. I need you to write this down, just the way you just said it to me. Write this down. So not only they have the audio, they have a written statement. And now you have no bargaining chips. You just provided them a key piece of evidence to prosecute you. And I think that we may learn this in the course of Arenas's case, that he made statements after being Mirandized. I will caution, those agents might have not Mirandized him, and he might just start talking. I don't recall too many videos I've seen where people were Mirandized and start talking that the cops say, okay, you can go now. We're letting you go. We'll talk to you later. No. I've seen gang cases where they done brought them soda and a McDonald's or Burger King or the free world food. They call it free world. I'm about to get, oh no, you're in an interrogation room for 10 hours and you're just talking and talking and talking and talking. I just seen a video yesterday where the dad got on the witness stand and was testifying against the son. We're going to talk about that story later on. But in the end, shut your mouth up, get you a lawyer, give your lawyer opportunity to negotiate. Because one of the first things your lawyer will say to you, did you make any statements? Did you say anything to the police? That's one of the first things the lawyer's going to ask you. First, you're going to ask you what happened. Then you're going to tell them what happened. And you say, did you tell this to the police? And you're going to say, yeah. What? The next thing your lawyer's going to say, well, were you read your rights? Well, no, I signed a form. Oh, yeah, someone said, don't forget Marcus Morris. Yeah, Marcus. Well, see, Marcus' situation is a little different. He's accused of stiffing a casino with a bad check. We don't know the amount. His handlers made a statement, basically said something about anything over $1,200. Well, anything over $1,200 could be $1 million. So he really didn't say anything. It was implied that it was over $1,200, but it could be anything over anything over $1,200. Yeah, they could swear a warrant. If it was $1,199, then it wouldn't be a warrant sworn out. So it was over $200. But I don't think a high-profile celebrity is writing a check for $1,200 and stiffing a casino. It's probably a lot more, allegedly. But I saw the bond hearing yesterday, and yeah, he's his reason why he didn't get bond is because there's a warrant in another jurisdiction. So the Florida court wants the extradition to go forward, where the Vegas, now I don't know if that's Clark County or Henderson. I think it's Clark County. To come and pick him up, and then he negotiates whatever on that side. Judge is not going to just Oh yeah, I'm back. We. You said what happened? Well, my laptop wasn't plugged in. Put a one in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear the sound of my voice. Put a one in the chat. We are back. Put a one in the chat if you can hear the sound of my voice. Okay. He said, "What happened? He disappeared." No, I didn't have it plugged in. I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at the bar. I said, wait a minute, the battery's low. I'm not even on my regular laptop. I don't know if you guys knew what happened to me in New York. I literally broke a laptop in New York. A nice one too. One of those, what is it, 17-inch? I don't know. It was a nice one. Let's see. One. Which one won? Dialogue. What are you talking about with the TV? What are you talking about? Dialogue with the TV? Well, you had a bet? Yeah, listen, none of that gambling over here. All right, guys. Let's see here. Stand by. Yeah, how's the video? The video's good. Okay, guys, we will be back on another live. Have another topic to talk about, and it's involving the McNair case. And we're talking about the young man in Florida who was pulled out of his vehicle in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, I was able to obtain some very important documents. And we are going to be talking about that at 8 p.m. tonight. Watch the thumbnail. Make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you're locked in. Jason, don't start it, Jason. Jason, don't start it. So, guys, make sure you are following, subscribing, support the platform. And that will inspire me to come back and do another one, and another one, and another one. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you guys on my next live. I appreciate you. I really do. Make sure you are hitting your notification too, so when I go live, you guys get the notification. Until then, we'll see you on the next live. I am out. Peace.